check that track out. It's amazing. It's sick. It's dope. And this is one of the brilliant minds that was behind that. So without further ado, everybody, here's Trey Rell.
Much love, much love. Thank you, bro. That was a great intro.
Right, edification is amazing.
Yeah,
you know, I dig it.
Sir.
Indeed. So thank you for being on the show, man. I'm excited. Just because this is our first time really just diving in on a one-on-one about music in general. So, you know, I got some questions for you. You know what I'm saying? And I'm curious to see your answer. So, with that said, my brother, hold on, let me go ahead and get this. So,
what's the policy too on like?
Go ahead and do your thing, yo. Do your thing. If you got them multiple roll, whatever your case, you do. You feel me?
Okay. Yeah. Much love.
Greens and things, man. You feel me? I'm rolling mine up right now as well, so I'm about to join you in a second, my brother.
No worries. I decided to have one rolled and then also roll one up afterwards. I was like, you know what? Why not both?
Yeah, why not, right? I dig it. All right. So with that said, man, let's go ahead and dive into it. Yeah. So go ahead and just tell the world about yourself, man. Like, where you from? Where you from? Who's Trey Rell?
Yo, so I was born and raised in Santa Monica, like very surfer skater town by the beach. It's like it's right between Venice and Malibu, and kind of the culture is exactly that too. You know, it's like halfway preppy and halfway like, yo, get away from me, bro. What are you doing? Like just skate, like ride or die, like that thing. So it was a lot of fun, man. Music's been in my family for a long time, so it was kind of a no-brainer for me. I started writing like poetry and things like that when I was like 7, maybe even earlier. But really like rapping and like loving hip hop and just diving into the history and all of the different artists. I would say that was probably like 12 years ago when I really started doing that. And it's just been a journey since then, bro. Like really crafting and working on, you know, spending years just in my notebooks writing rhymes and then being like, wait, I know how to write rhymes, but it's hard to deliver them on the mic. It's a whole different world once it's you and the headphones and the mic, and you have to produce something that sounds good when you play it back instead of just impressing people with your wordplay. It's a whole different world. I was like, damn, I had to focus on that for a little bit. Then it was like, yo, now I can rap, I can write, but I'm recording and I can't engineer myself. So I got to go to the homies and I got to like have him track me. And then I'm like, yo, send me that. And he's like, oh, I'm busy. And a week goes by and I'm like, man, I'm never seeing my song again. That I got to learn. So, you know, so I started learning audio engineering too. And so all of this is like putting my hand in all these different pots. So it felt like instead of like some people just choose one path, they're like, I'm gonna be an artist, and they just work towards that. And I chose like 6 things, and I've just been slowly progressing at all that. So now I've been engineering like many projects. I make songs all the time. I started producing as well because I just knew all the programs. I have an ear for it. That's like part of my like family lineage is making that music too. I need to get nicer with it. It's just about focusing in on it. So that's kind of me, man. So now here I am, and we're doing this Bob String Beats thing. I've been working with Beat of the Week for a little while. Started out rapping on there. Made a few checks, you know what I'm saying? And then chopped it up and just said like, yo, let's do this together. Let's take this to the next level. They blessed me with that opportunity. And so here we are. Like,
that's how we got here. I like that. All right, on here we snap. You know what I'm saying? Everything is poetry, right? Because art is from the heart. You feel me? And the word art is in the word heart. You feel me? It's all connected. So everything that we speak on is painting pictures. You feel me? So okay. So regarding before I move forward, right? So regarding like your family lineage and everything, like put me on. What's going on?
All right, I'll put you on because I can tell that you're a real good person, bro, and you got real good vibes. And I don't really like talking about it because, some people think nepotism is like a blessing, but it's not always a blessing if it's not like directly being a positive in your life. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'll start way back. So it goes way back to like my great grandpa. I'm like Jewish musician all the way, bro. My like great grandpa, he was a personal musician. Huh.
So it's starting off like Coco.
Yeah. He was a personal musician for the Tsar of Russia. And then his son they moved, and then he was a personal musician for the Tsar in Prague in the Czech Republic. Then they moved. Then you got my great grandpa. His name's Al Sherman. And he wrote songs that like our grandparents would know. Like they're still in commercials and things like that. Like I don't know if you know, like you want to be a football hero. That's how you get all the beautiful girls, like shit like that. They used to play in the like 50s and 60s and like, all the like whatever. Right. He wrote all those things.
Interesting.
So then he moved out here. It's crazy and ironic, bro, because he moved out here from New York to chase some musical opportunities at Paramount Studios, which I now live like a block from Paramount. So it's crazy to think that's how that worked. But he moved out here, and then my grandpa and his brother, they're the ones that really did it, bro. They were one of the greatest songwriting duos. They were the only songwriters that Walt Disney ever personally hired on staff. And so my grandpa and his brother, they wrote It's a Small World, Mary Poppins, Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, Jungle Book, Charlotte's Web, Winnie the Pooh, Tiki Room. And my grandpa's like 92, still working, doing all the new Iron Man, the new Jungle Book. There's my dad did a documentary on their lives, so it's a lot. It's a lot, man. And so here I am now trying to make my own way in my own right. Right. But half of it feels like destined, but then the other half of it is like, the path is just paved. You still got to walk it yourself. You still got to make those moves,
What's down that path.
Right. And when I say the path is paved, I mean like I see the finish line. You know what I'm saying? Like it's far away, but in my mind, I see where I want to be. And so in my head, there's nothing that's going to stop me from getting there because I'm not going to stop working until I get to that point. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And as much as I'm appreciative of all the wisdom and all of the experience that my grandpa's passed down, Disney ain't fucking with me. Like Disney is, we can strike that from the sponsors about yeah. So Disney's, they changed after Walt was gone, and my grandpa kind of got ostracized there, and then like they just keep it moving. They got the new fresh guy in, and then they hired more people, so I can barely get tickets to Disneyland anymore in this bitch. It's yeah, so it's never been like that in my family where it's been like, yo, let me hand you the keys. But at least it's a talking point, and it definitely has helped open some doors that I've walked through myself, like I'm saying. Right. And have to be like, yo, let me get somebody's contact at BMI. Okay, I'm gonna hit them up. I'm gonna pull up. I'm gonna pitch myself by myself, do the whole thing. It's
right.
So that's been the move so far. That's how I've been moving, and it's a blessing, bro, because everything that's great in life you got to earn. And I feel like even if you're given it and you didn't earn it, you don't value it as great. You don't think it is as great as it is. And so I think the accomplishments I've already been able to do and the achievements that I've already been able to get to just by myself, that is it means so much more than just getting like handed a company or handed a label or handed something like that, you know.
Facts.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I like that. I love that, actually. Snaps to that, man.
Thank you, bro.
Thank you for sharing. Indeed.
I appreciate you. Good question off the bat.
You know what I'm saying? Just again, this is our first go around, so you know.
Yeah.
I'm here to learn a little bit more about Trey Rap. So my second question, right? You kind of already answered it, but I don't know. We'll see. All right. What was the song or experience that made you like actually want to pursue music? So I know you have the lineage and everything, yet
yeah,
there's a lot of people who shy away from the family business, you know?
Yeah, totally. So you mean like the moment where it was like, I'm gonna do this for real,
Like I'm gonna do this for me, not because,
right?
You know, whatever.
So you know, and I appreciate this question again. I'm gonna get vulnerable a bit. You know, there was what she said, pass the blunt though. That was it. You know, it was like, I would say there was a moment that I posted recently that made me realize that it wasn't just like, oh, you got a little bit of clout for who you are or anything like that. I don't know if you're familiar with Percy P, the rapper.
I heard the name, yeah.
Yeah, like old school 90s. He and Lord Finesse did like rap battles and like stuff like that. Like he's an old school cat. He's got videos of like Eminem and everything. So there was a hip hop summit like in Santa Monica that was at my high school on one of the weekends. Yeah, bro. And there was some real cats there.
I'm sorry, just because we were just talking about that.
Yeah. So there was a hip hop summit right there at Santa Monica High, and like CL Smooth was there, X Clan was there, Onyx was there. They did slam. This is like in my local auditorium, bro. It was like a trip. But and so there was also Percy P was there and Prince Poe from Organized Confusion. I don't know if you mess with that with Pharoah Monch, but so Percy P was there, and I had a notebook just full of rhymes. And I was like, screw it, I'm gonna just talk to him. And I walked up and I read him something, and he turned to like his homie and he was like, yo, go take out the camera. And he looked at me and he said, you're gonna do that again. And I was like, what? And someone started filming and he was like, yo, what's up? Like, it's Percy P. Like, I'm gonna give you the future of hip hop right now. Like, no dumbing down, nothing. Like, this right here is the future of hip hop certified. And I was like, oh my God. And then he made me spit the whole verse again. And then he dapped me up. And I was like, okay, so here's somebody that I like literally replicate in my notebook. Like I've written verses in his style and stuff like that just to practice, you know? And he's telling me that I'm the future of hip hop, not only just telling me, but taking a video and wanting it to get posted online. I was like, oh my God, at 16, I was like, okay, I really got something here, right?
I'm getting goosebumps, yo. Just imagine at school too, in the auditorium in front of everybody.
It was a trip. And so, yeah. And so now here's where it gets trippy is like, that's when I knew that I really had the juice, but then life gets in the way, man. Life is silly, bro. You know, I went to college and then I was just fucking around, you know, too much the first couple years and not really focusing on music like that. And then I transferred to SC, and this is why it gets to me is I wish that I majored in music and in some type of music, bro. Everything works out for a reason. I majored in communication, and I learned so much from that program.
You're right.
Oh my God, from SC, and they're ranked like #1, and it was just a lot, bro. It was a lot, and I absorbed all that. But again, wasn't focusing really on my music. I was kind of focusing more on the media and the marketing side of things, and just like social issues, persuasion tactics, like interviewing skills, things like that I was learning. Damn, I'm getting a little sidetracked.
No, it's all good. It's all
good. Yeah. So
that's good. A&R. I mean, everything that you're doing, that's good for like A&Rs, man.
Right. And so I use everything that I learned all the time, every day in my jobs and in what I do. So I'm not too upset. But my point was that I didn't like fully say like I'm going for music. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I was like, I'm gonna just keep making music. And so I ended up minoring in some stuff, pseudo minoring, just taking a bunch of classes in music tech. And that's where I studied like audio engineering. And so again, I just spent my time there wisely, got the skills that I needed. I got a studio right here that I engineer in all the time. And then even after I graduated, I would say I still wasn't 100% like throwing myself into my music, but now is when I'm really gonna invest in myself, bro. I'm like, it's time. I when I was hopping on Beat of the Week and I was winning, I was like, this is tight. People are recognizing my talent. But then when I started like working with them and brand developing, like, and just get like hosting events and like creating a community, like I was like, I want to be part of this world forever. Like, but that still wasn't me. Like I as an artist am trying to push myself super hard. I always cared about my music, and this entire time I've been making music. But when you try and like do it all yourself and mix it and master it and put it all out and everything yourself, you just get overwhelmed. And you're just over a track. Like I've heard all my music so many times. I'm about to release stuff from like years ago that I finally am like, I really like this. I want this out, you know, instead of just like, I made this, it's cool. People should hear it, you know? So I put out projects, but like right now is when I'm like, let's go, man. It's no time. I'm investing in myself. I'm putting money into my own music videos, into my promotion, you know, thinking things in advance. And me and Journey are cooking up some crazy stuff. So it's just like
working with Journey. That's what you're gonna do,
right? We got to give a big shout out to Journey.
Indeed. Yes. Quick shout out to Journey. Journey is he really mixes life is music and life is a journey together. You know what I'm saying? Like he embodies that in every way. It's a beautiful experience. So shout out to Journey. If y'all don't know who he is, y'all need to tap in. DJ Journey, anywhere you go, streaming platforms, as far as music, IG, all of that. Now back to regular program, right? So no, but I love that, right? And the reason why I said, you know, he embodies that life is music because, you know, he this is something that he, you know, embodied into me, or you know, programmed into me. He was just like, it has to be that tension and release. You know what I'm saying? In order for a song to really come together and be what it is, right? And life is a lot of tension and release. You know, you're going through transitions, going through this, that, and the third. You know, yet ultimately, you know, we tap into our gyroscope, right? Like spaceships, when they go to like certain planets, they have a thing called a gyroscope where it's off like 75% of the time, but it always makes it to its destination. It's not like a GPS where it goes like every street directly. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, when we follow that gyroscope, we always make it to our destination. So you even coming to this point where it's just like, do this for me, man. Like, I love this. This is my life. This is
hell yeah
music, man. I love that. I love that.
I love connecting with people. I love community. I love collaborating. Like anytime I've like engineered for people, because I don't really like to do it. I don't like promote myself often as like, yo, hit me up for this, because I only like to engineer people that I like working with and that I like their music a lot and I believe in it a lot, you know, and I because when I sit down to work on something, it's like my music too. Once I put my hands on it, it's a reflection of me.
Right.
And so I'm like, yo, what about a drop here? What about doing this here? And da-da-da. And like these two artists I work with, they come to me and they'll sit down and be like, yo, you just go, just do your thing. Like, we know that you're gonna put all like, because we've worked so many times, and I'm like, what if you did that? And they're like, yeah, just go.
Right.
Yeah, it's hard.
Right. No,
you know,
building that chemistry.
Yeah, exactly. And just, I think you just caring about what you do.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Indeed. Okay.
Yeah.
Beautiful. All right. So on to the next. All right. So what's the craziest experience you've ever had in the studio?
This is a trip because the studio's been in my room for like a long time, so a lot of shit's gone down. but
Gotcha. When you locked into the studio.
I mean, I would say one of the craziest things that happened when because I used to work at a studio, like I used to work at the Village in Westwood, and it's like an acclaimed studio. Like that's where Dre did The Chronic, and like Michael Jackson did shit, Gwen Stefani. Like everybody records there. They got all these plaques on the wall and all this shit. And I was a runner, and I got fired, bro, over some bull. Like I came in and did a graveyard shift, and I was just there for like 2 hours, but somebody like lost a hard drive while I was on my shift, and they like called me and they were like, yo, is it cool if we come by and pick up this hard drive? And I was like, sure. And they're like, oh, it's in this private room. I was like, well, I don't have access to that. Like, you can come by and get it though. Right. They didn't say anything else. Turns out, you know, Sting.
I heard the name.
Sting, yeah. So Sting was going live in London, like on some talk show, about to walk out, and he wanted to debut his new track, and he only had it on this hard drive that was in this room, and he needed it in the next like 10 minutes, but nobody said anything over the phone, and I ended up getting fired over it. The next day, they called me on my day off and had me come in.
Just to tell you that.
Yep. And I was like, okay, what should I have done differently in that situation? And they couldn't even tell me.
See, that part. You can't tell somebody to do something wrong and not provide another suggestion or another option.
Yeah. But I just, that's when I realized I don't like that like industry studio life, like at all. And I'd rather it just be on some like cook up vibing lifestyle thing, like you talking about, you know, like come through, we got a spot, we got everything.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. I like that. Okay, all right. Jeez.
I don't know if that really answered the question.
No, I mean, if that's your craziest experience.
Yeah, let's just go with that for now. If I think of something,
hey, I'll let you know. Round 2 on Greens and Things. You know, yeah, we got you. All right, next question. All right. So what artist would you love to work with right now?
Ooh. Just one artist.
Yeah, just one.
I mean, obviously Kendrick. Like the
why? But why? Why for you?
For me, I really think that his storytelling, his lyricism, his rhyme schemes, his approach to his craft, his honesty, his, you know, he just blends so many things, and he really changed the game, honestly. He allowed consciousness and conscious hip hop to really be like mainstream, and he like talks about it like in his rhymes, and this is what I really love about all of his music, is that you know, he raps in a flow that anybody can listen to and not really be listening to what he's saying, and you're still gonna like what he's saying. And then if you listen to it and actually hear his words, you're also gonna like learn something or become a better person or like understand the world in a different worldview or different perspective. Like that's his approach. And it's really powerful. And it reminds me a lot of what Tupac was like. But I feel like Kendrick, just because of the times and the way the engineering is, and his flow is just way more dynamic. He just does a bunch of more eccentric stuff. And that's where he's a little bit more like my other person who I would really love to work with. Actually, this is my answer, is Andre 3000, bro. That's yeah. If I could work with Andre, because I just love how he's just pushed the genres and been so innovative and just really like made hip hop what he wanted it to be and just changed things and opened doors, like for real, like storytelling and just Outkast as a whole, bro. Like to start from 94, like Southern Playlist to Cadillac Music, you know, like it's super gangster album, and then all of a sudden he gets more and more like eccentric and innovative, and it just becomes, you know, now he's dropping 8-minute instrumentals where he doesn't even rap, he's like playing the saxophone, but you feel that, like you really like you feel the emotion in it, and he's just an artist in the purest sense, and a feeler and a thinker, you know.
I feel like another person who's like that, you know, is Childish Gambino.
Yep.
You know, he has that dynamic even when it comes to like producing and, you know, being able to put together a visual, you know. No, beautiful, man. Beautiful. Thank you. I like that. Andre Andre and then Kendrick.
Yeah.
Andre and then Kendrick. Okay. Yeah. I like it. Okay. Yeah. All right. So with that said, man, go ahead and let the world know about like anything that has just come out, what you're working on, what is coming out. Like let the world know what you know.
Yo, so perfect. So I recently put out all my past projects that hadn't been on all platforms. They're all out now. So you can go stream He Lives, which was my 2018 project, and Almost, which was like a compilation I dropped in 2019 that was songs from 2015 to that point that just, you know, I didn't want them to necessarily be my debut album, but they were just songs that I was like, I really like these. It's stuff I did with a lot of people, and if I don't put it out right now, then it's never going to see the light of day. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, let me put this out real quick. And then I went on vacation and I was like, screw it, never did anything after. So now it's all out on all platforms. So you can look up Trey Rail, you can look those up. And then there's also a few singles that I did before that are up there too. And so, yeah, those are the two projects that are out now. But I got a bajillion things coming. Bajillion things coming up that I'm working on and that I'm gonna release, and it really is exciting because some of it is stuff that I produced myself, that I curated and did the whole thing. Some of it is stuff that Journey and I worked on together, and then some of it is stuff where I might not even be rapping on it, but Journey and I produced it on the show, and then artists that we've been tapping in with are going to be rapping on different tracks and make a whole compilation with all the people that have been in the community so far, and what we're going to do with that. And so that it's a lot. It's a lot, but I'll definitely keep everybody updated. Like, follow me. There's going to be music videos dropping and everything. This next project's going to be big. So just stream what's out now, and there's updates coming soon with dates and everything.
Hey, y'all run my man's numbers up, man. Run the numbers up. Go ahead, tune in, tap into the movement. You know, and so you let the world know where to find you. Perfect.
Yes, sir. Instagram at Trey.Rail.
Bang, bang.
Yeah.
All right, so two more questions, and then we're gonna go ahead and bring this full circle.
Hell yeah, let's go.
First one, sativa or indica?
Oh, okay. For me, it depends on what time of day we're talking about. Uh, I would say like definitely if I'm trying to do stuff during the day and get stuff done, then sativa. But if I'm just like on a show and I'm just like chilling and talking about my life, then probably some indica,
I feel it. Okay. All right. So my man said he's flexible with them, you know what I'm saying? Depending on the time
Yeah.
of the day. I dig it. And I guess this is not really a question, but more of perspective. Go ahead and let the world know, like, for just people and just musicians, artists, what have you learned in your journey, just on a personal level and just with music? Like, any words of advice, guidance, perspective?
Damn. I mean, I'm a word vomit for a second, but I think it takes time no matter what you're doing. Like, if you want to be really good, create a mark, build a legacy, it takes time and devotion into your craft, no matter how good you start out at, because people are working and they'll outwork you. Also, to be fairly humble, there's a thin line between like cocky and confident. And I can't promise that I'm always on on the right side of it, but but you got to try in the right situations and understand that you can learn things from anybody. Anybody can teach you something that will change your life and you don't even know it. And you need to just know that that's a fact and live with that and try and just soak things in for people, but also be able to understand that maybe not all of it's applicable to your life as well, and be able to take things as well as they are. So yeah, just be open to people and pay it forward as well, and teach other people what you know, because it always comes back around. You never know, you might help somebody out and who just needs a mix, or he needs like a vocal, or needs just a tip, like, yo, how does this work on Pro Tools? I don't even know how to do a save as, bro. Like, like what's good? Like, just being able to answer the phone and be there for somebody. Like, you never know what that's gonna like do for you 4 years from then. Like, you never know when you just never know, bro.
Right.
Put yourself out there and be ready for those opportunities, and just say yes to everything. And if you fail, you learn from it and you get better, like, that's the only way you get ready, man. You can't, you could try and prep as much as you want. Like I was saying, I was writing 300 notebooks, like all these rhymes. But as soon as you get up on the mic in the studio and you're recording with the headphones, it's a whole different world. As soon as you're in front of a bunch of people trying to rap and impress a whole crowd, it's a whole different world than just, I'm writing in my notebook really dope. And so those are all things that you need to put your time into, and just like, yeah,
that was poetry right there. That was poetry, man. So thank you for that. Thank you. Hey. Yeah, man, give it up for Trey Rail. Y'all give it up for Trey Rail. We snap around here. If you want to scream, you do what you want, in the crib. But nonetheless, man, we would definitely got to do this again.
Anytime, bro.
I'm pretty sure by that time, there's going to be so much more, that we can just go ahead and build on. So with that said, man, just thank you. I appreciate your existence.
Oh man.
One of the things I love to say is, man, in case nobody has told you that they love you today, let me be the first to say I love you to life. You are loved, cherished, and appreciated. Thank you for blessing the world with your energy and just the person that you are. And yeah, y'all tap in. So with that said, we're going to go ahead and head out, man. Peace.
Deuces. Thank you, bro.
Oh, indeed. Indeed.
Man,
it's vibes, man. Always
yeah. Shower me with those.